All right, now I would like to talk about what are our expertise in relation to Power Applications, or let's say Power Apps. So we have delivered many projects on Power Apps since 2011 and also awarded as Microsoft 365 Business Apps Preferred Partner, which had been provided by Microsoft itself for North America, India, Europe, and the Australia territory. Our professionals are highly skilled and have contributed to the development of our IPs, or let's say the offerings, which are some of them are travel requests, asset management, onboarding and offboarding, sales order, and many more. In today's session, I'll be also covering demos on few of these Power Apps. All right, so Microsoft Power Platform. First, before we dive into what is Power Apps, let's first talk about Microsoft Power Platform, which is helping and empowering millions of people to achieve more. So let me first say that Power Platform stands as a unified platform of low-code tools that spans over Office 365, Azure, Dynamics 365, and all the standalone applications, which help you to analyze data, build solutions, automate processes, and create virtual agents, which will help you to transform your business. So this is a rapid application development platform that helps citizen developers who have limited coding abilities to innovate and build new solutions faster because they have the familiarity to the user experience tools such as PowerPoint. Right, but it is also a suite of powerful tools for professional developers that seamlessly integrate a rapid application development platform built with from ground up to tightly integrate with the pro development capabilities of Azure. In essence, Power Platform makes low code transformation a team sport. Across industry technologies, it is a leading platform, but just don't take our word for it. You can experience it yourself in our webinars, and you can always connect with us to know more and experience the best of Power Platform. So Power Platform has four modules under it, that is Power BI, Power Automate, Power Apps, and Power Virtual Agents. Power BI talks about the business analytics part, which helps you to generate very powerful reports. Then we have Power Automate, which helps for the automation process. Then comes Power Apps, which helps for the development of the application. And then we have virtual agents, which will help you to create intelligent virtual, or let's say the chatbots. So in the last webinars, we have already covered about Power BI and Power Automate. Today, we are going to talk in detail about what is Power Apps. And I'll also showcase some of the demos that how actually these applications look like and how they can help you in your day-to-day business. All right, so moving on. So do you have, let's say, maybe any of your inefficient or legacy business processes that you would like to maybe modernize, or are you still moving information around using the paper or even a shared Excel workbook? Do you want to be able to perform these business processes from different devices? It can be your PCs, mobile phones. If yes, then you need Power Apps. All right, so first let's talk about what is Power Apps. Power Apps is like a no-code, low-code platform for building the application, and it is just similar to the formulas which we have in this Excel workbook. Remember, we have this auto sum, and then we just write equals to and write sum or text, etc. This is just a similar process. The concepts are similar as well. So you can use Power Apps to build simple solutions. For example, let's say vehicle inspection forms, status reports, or complex business solutions for purchasing, let's say processes and inventory management. You can do it all. So Power Apps has democratized artificial intelligence itself, by providing a wizard-based interface for building and training your models. So it will help you unlock the power of Azure machine learning and cognitive services without having to write a single line of code or creating any sort of complex machine learning models. Power Apps has a ready-to-use AI component. Let me give you an example that we usually use this business card reader. So this component will hit review an uploaded photo or the picture taken to determine that if it is a business card, and subsequently it will extract all the relevant information. Now to do all this, there is no configuration required in real time. You don't have to sit down and just go and write the code. All you need to do is that, just drag and drop and select that what you want to do with your data. Power Apps helps you to remove all your IT development backlogs, and mostly it helps you to collaborate at a larger scale. All right, so today most app platforms only see some business data just like this. But what we are seeing as a visionary that customers want to build apps across their data. So this is how it would look like actually. So let's say when modernizing a paper-based process, there are likely systems in your organizations. I know that so many applications, so much data we have, and all of them that can be leveraged. So with Power Apps, you will have so many choices. With over 275 connectors, you'll be easily able to connect your data, use the underlying data service and app platform, and Microsoft Dataverse or a multitude of online and on-premise data sources can be also leveraged. So let me mention some of the common data sources. For example, Dataverse, SharePoint, Dynamics 365. It could be your SQL Server, Azure SQL, Office 365 itself. So in any of these common data sources, if you want to just extract data out of it and let's say you want to call it into your application, you can definitely do that. And you don't have to choose just one data source. Power Apps easily supports multiple data connections, allowing you to bring data together from many platforms into a single application. All right, so I won't dive very technical, but I'll just let you know the overall scenarios that we have with Power Apps. So with Power Apps, you can create 3 types of applications. One is Canvas, then is model driven, and portals. Each of them is suited to different scenarios as well as to end users. Let me talk in detail about all these 3 applications. So one is Canvas apps. Okay, so on this left, can you see these are the, I have shown a mobile Canvas app. So first, let me tell you what is a Canvas app. Canvas apps is a very great option when you want to build an app from like a blank canvas. I hope like we all have done drawing when we were small, or we might be continuing some of them, right? So there is a blank canvas, and then we, first we draw, then we put down some colors into it. Canvas app is just as similar as that. You just have to start by choosing the screen size. It can be, let's say, your tablet size, your mobile size, and then you have a blank screen from which you want to build. You can interact with data in your app by adding your data sources, as I mentioned earlier. Then you have is the drag and drop functionality, where you can use various controls and add the desired functionality by, let's say, you can just write an Excel style formulas as well, and you can put down any sort of controls. So Canvas apps provide you complete flexibility when you want to build your applications. So what we have shown here is a mobile Canvas app which was built by Heathrow Airport. Then we have is the model driven apps. All right, so model driven apps build from data in the Microsoft Dataverse. So it is specific that if you have your data into Dataverse, you can just call it here and get it configured under model driven. And this is how actually the look and feel would come when you build a model driven application. So Power Apps will build you a very great looking, fully functional app to act upon and interact with this data when you say Microsoft Dataverse. So with model-driven apps, there is no need to worry about choosing the app size or any other sort of thing. It is just very responsive, meaning that it would work on your mobile tablet with no extra work to be done by you. All you need to do is define the relationships, forms, how the view should be, business rules, and more at the data layer inside of the Dataverse. And this will give you enough control to get your business result without writing any of the formulas yourself. So On this, what we have shown is an example of a fundraiser donations tracking. This is a model-driven app. So this is how the field looks like. All right, so just I would like to quickly talk and compare about what are the two differences between the two. So first, let's talk about the user experience. So as I said about the look and feel, okay, for model-driven, it is minus because I showed you, right, that this is how it would look like. Let me show you. This is the difference. This under this, every reports and everything can be configured, but overall it will look like this. While under Canvas, it can be, you know, a bit interactive. It can be you can put down different sort of images and everything. So this is how a bit difference comes in. So Canvas app will give you the ability to, you know, have the create a full user interface for your application. It is a very similar experience when you are, you know, creating forms in InfoPath. You place interface elements on a canvas and then just wire them up to display your data. In model-driven app, it is more styled and is based on the data which is stored under your CDS or your Dataverse. You don't have the same level of control over the look of the user interface that you will have with the Canvas application. Let me mention. So this is the two things. Then we have the business situation. So this one for model driven, it falls under complex because under this you might need to put down the business rules, security rules, and sometimes, you know, you need to have a bit of technical knowledge. Let's say you might need to have some understanding of JavaScript. While for Canvas, it is just put down a very simple code like the Excel formula. Then we have the app feature set. So for model driven, it's like, you know, the email send activity, the business rules and flows, everything is very easy. You just need to put it down that this is what you want. While with Canvas, it stands negative because you need to connect each and every formula that you write, and then you need to connect and then configure them. Data validation stands true for both of them. It's almost same that the field values need to be validated. The data sources, okay. Model driven is because, you know, it only leverages Microsoft Dataverse or the CDS. While with Canvas, what happens that multiple, you know, as I mentioned, 275 connectors we have. You can always bring them down and connect. They can all work as your data sources. Ease of configuration is more in model driven because you don't have to really sit down, connect and configure, while with Canvas you will have to sit down and configure. Extensibility remains same, that you can expand or, you know, grow more in terms of growing the application altogether. All right, so Power Apps portal, that was the third type of Power App you can build. So portals bring the power of no-code solutions to building externally facing websites that we have. So through the Power Apps interface, you can build an anonymous or authenticated website that allows users to interact with data which is held in Dataverse. This it has the same drag and drop experience you enjoy when building applications, and it is available to build very rich and interactive websites. If you would like to have a look at how the Power Apps portal looks like, or please visit our store, and under that you'll be able to see under solutions emergency rental assistance programs. Under that you will be able to see how the look and feel of the Power App portals come. All right, so moving further, as I mentioned earlier, that I'll be today showing you few of the demos of our applications that we have at our end. So first is employee onboarding and offboarding. Let's just have a quick overview of what does this application do. So first things first, that enterprise, let me just say that enterprise-wide employee onboarding and offboarding is a very time-consuming activity. True that, and HR plays a very critical role, and he's the one who he has to meet the standard process and keep in touch about all the governance, and he's the one who has to entitle to the whole onboarding and offboarding process, and the same person needs to keep track of all the departmental tasks, and the entire company's HR data is challenging. We definitely know that, but essentially HR plays a very critical role. Considering this above scenario and the challenge of employee management, we Bitscape developed the onboarding and offboarding power app for faster solutions, and it will promotes the paperless process with the capability to manage the associated let's say HR, admin, IT, and other tasks along with the central document repository for employees as well as the HRs. So onboarding offboarding power application will quickly enable the organization HR team to initiate the process. It will provide different teams with the onboarding and offboarding process checklists which they need to perform. It involves, let's say, admin, IT, finance, and the payroll team as well to act on the checklist. This application can be used in browser, and it is also available to mobile power apps application. All right, let's have just some quick view over the features. So first, it quickly enables the HR team to start the process, and the process is automatic because we have integrated it with Power Automate. So checklist, notifications are also automated. Once a checklist is started, and the other team members will be notified via emails. Then it works as a centralized data repository for HR as well as the employee. And it is a paperless process. It saves time, and the design is totally secured. So let me mention that it is a very easy and fast integration it has with the third-party applications. And can you see here that the look and feel comes off here as a model-driven application. So what we had to do is we had to just put down the parts, and everything just got configured. So let me still show you some of this how the application looks like in real time. So this is our landing page. The department approvals look like this, and the profile screen. And now let me just switch to the demo part. So I hope you guys can see the screen. Right now I have logged in under our application. This is how the application would look like, the Bitscape onboarding and offboarding. So this is an application, as I mentioned, that serves as a checklist process for multiple teams that come together during the onboarding and offboarding procedures. Let's just have a quick walkthrough of the solution. So before, this is the dashboard, how it looks like for the HR to view the onboarding and offboarding details. Here we have the top navigation buttons right here. They will help you to quickly navigate to, let's say, if you have something in your draft, the active users. It will also show you the number that how much, let's say your pending task are 37, then it gives you a number. Here on this left panel, we have all the navigation parts where you can directly switch to active user, deactive user, admin tasks, HR tasks, IT, finance, onboarding in process, and offboarding in process. We have other two power apps as well, that is manage assets and manage rooms. So let's say I will talk about this in detail later. This is the center of the screen, which shows the details about the employees or the list of employees. It can be definitely filtered using here the active user, deactive user, and so on, as well as you'll be able to filter it in the ascending and descending order as required. You can just put down the arrows. You have the search functionality here. You can switch to next page right from here, and here you will have the count of how many total records at the bottom of the page. All right, so let's say for now that an HR wants to start the process. So all the HR needs to do is go there. Now what he needs to do is that he will initiate the process, and he will capture all the basic information such as the first name, last name, onboarding date, the engagement type, end date. From here, right, it's if he can also put down who would be the reporting manager, department head, the department he would fall in, division, company. The company as in like there are many organizations which operate from multiple locations. So for example, one of them is working from Canada or US, any place, then you can select from this drop down list. The work location, where would the site work required, or is it online, so on. You can put down all these details. Once the HR puts down these details, right here the HR also needs to put down these details such as the address and so on. He can also put down any sort of attachments for reference. Next, once he can save it as draft and also save. As soon as the HR puts it on save. All right, sorry, I forgot to mention about a checklist. So the HR will put down these basic details, but he'll be also putting down the tick mark that sitting allocation is required. Yes. Business card, yes, no, so on. The access card, yes. Induction, yes, it is required on the office induction, let's say. Then he goes to the HR team and puts down all these details. Yes, no. The IT team, for this is like creating a checklist for the IT team that you need to allot a device. Let's say what kind of device would you allot? A laptop. All right. So this is how this would look like for the IT team, that all these details. All HR needs to do is put the tick mark and he'll select these options. Then the finance team as well, that does this employee that is going to come on board would need credit card and so on. So HR is just going to put down these details and click on save. As soon as it clicks save, what happens is that all the different teams, they will be notified via email that a task has been generated for you. Let me show you how it would look like. Give me one moment. All right. So this is right now I have logged in for a, let's say, the IT team. Okay, and this is how the dashboard would look like for the IT team. Right here, the IT person would be able to see that, okay, this is you need to assign, this is the task for the IT team right here. So he'll go here on the view item details. Also the same thing, what happens is the IT person will be notified via email that a task has been generated for you. To this person, you need to do the needful. From here, you'll be able to open the same in the browser version. But the basic details and the tasks generated for this person, it will be everything in detail will be mentioned right here itself. So he can just have a quick overview of what task he needs to perform. All right. So here, the IT person will go in under here and put down the descriptions. Okay. He needs to put on edit. And the person will just write down the description and other things that are required. So can you see these are all the ones which are editable. Once the IT person completes the process of putting down everything, he has three options: in process, if it is still in draft, on hold because we are let's say in case we are expecting some sort of documents, and then we have completed. So once every details are filled in, he puts down completed. As soon as it goes under completed, what happens is that HR will be notified, as well as you'll be able to see this one particular record under completed. Since I've not filled the information, I'm not changing the all the information right here. Okay, so this is how the application would look like. Then what happens is that an active user means that the person has come on board. Okay, so as soon as all the different teams complete their checklist, the HR will put down that marked person is active. As soon as that is done, what will happen, the name will start reflecting here. Under edit item details, you can see all the sort of details in respect to this one particular person, and this is what we call as an employee ID that we can be generated. So this is like a unique ID once the employee is marked active. With that, the HR can generate, this is like an e-card which has some a QR code. Now this is sent on employee's email ID. So what I'll be doing is share on email ID. This will help to mark his or her attendance with the help of the QR code, which can be scanned on the console. So we have received the email. Let me show you. Can you see? I now just received this. So all that the new employee that is coming, he needs to scan this on the console, and the attendance will be marked. So this is how we have some of the new capabilities built with this. So this is how the onboarding process would look like. The similar process stands for the offboarding process. You can do it in two ways. You just need to go here and start offboarding and so on. So these are all the things you can do with this application. We okay, I mentioned earlier about the two manage assets and manage rooms. So these are the two applications we have that are integrated under the same application. So for example, IT person, okay, he needs to assign the asset to the incoming employee. Then he can do it right from here. Manage rooms means, let's say if you want to book a conference room, you can do it right from here. So these are some of the flexibilities we have with this application. All right, so moving on, let's talk next about another application we have. That is the sales order application. All right, so the sales order application. So as we know that the frontline workers are our real heroes, behind selling our exquisite products these days, and they need to carry all sort of brochures, paperwork of orders, etc. But this application, it serves as a handy tool for them. So all they need to do is they can install this app on their mobile device, and they'll be able to directly access details about, let's say, the product, customers, orders, and so on. So it promotes digitization, which can be leveraged by all sort of first-time workers. With this, we also have some of the another capabilities. One, that it has been rightly collaborated and integrated with MS Teams, so you can use the same under MS Teams, experience as well. Then we have the mixed reality component integrated with this. So you will have two things. One is the 3D view, and then we have the mixed reality component. So let's just have a quick overview of all the features. So first, it is enabling the quick, all the sales people quickly with the information, products, customers, inventory, pricing, and order information. It helps to quickly submit the order and track the status of the order. Then we have the mixed reality component, as I mentioned, to allow these users to see how a particular product would look like in real space, right? So it will be able to, they will be able to see that would it fit in this on this new table, the new monitor, or so on. Then we have integrated with the MS Teams chatbot feature. Paperless process, and it is a time-saving solution, and it is a very easy and fast integration with third-party solutions. All right, so I would quickly like you all to see the demo now. But just have a look that these are some of the screenshots we have. This is how it would look like in the mixed reality. That, let's say, this was the new table arrangement, and would the laptop fit this space? Or how it would look like. Then we have this in the 3D view as well. So this is how it would look like. I'll also show you in real time. Right, so we have right here. Let me now switch to the sales order. So this is how the mobile application looks like. Let me mention that this is a Canvas application. So on this, we have right here, you can see your user profile. Your name will be mentioned as soon as you log in. Here you have the following categories or the options. You go for products. Let's see how it works out for each. So here you'll have the list of all the products you have with you. Once you click on next, it shows you the product details. All right, and you can see the scanner. Then you have the 3D view, all the details. Now, in case you also have a video related to that product, you can also attach that at the end as shown. And I've just initiated the 3D view. So I say the 3D view is very helpful when you want to see all the 360-degree view of how it would look like. So this is how the 360-degree view would work. Okay. Now I'm not going to switch to the mixed reality function because for that I would have to connect with the mobile. But all you need to do is that you switch on this application from your mobile. Go here and just click on mixed reality. You start your it will ask for a request that would you like to the camera could access this application or not, so on. So say yes, and you'll be able to see it in real time in real space. So this is how the mixed reality component also looks like. It will give you virtual volumetric representations to find out that if a pathway is large or enough, if the product will fit, or how the placement might impact the line of sight as well. So we have that with the products. Under customers, you have the list of all the customer and the details. You go here on next and you can find all the details. Go back to home page and you can see the product stock as well. So let's say the game controller, we have 150 in stock, and when you go to next, you'll be able to again see the product details. Okay, then we have is the product's price. So with under each the game controller, we have it the product price as $570 and so on, the whole list. Likewise for book order. So as I mentioned earlier, that now all the salesperson needs to do is they can just directly book an order right from here. He has to select the customer, let's say how much in quantity, let's say one. We can see the price is reflected 570 and just need to place an order. So this is how it could work like, and from here you can see the salesperson can see all the orders as well as the status that this is admit dispatched, on hold, in process, and so on. Under the calendar view also you'll be able to see that which are different status of the different products, where are they in the on hold, in process, so on. All right, so as I mentioned that we have the same with integrated under Microsoft Teams. So this is our chatbot. With chatbot you can put down that, let's say you can just type down a command right now, let's say list customers. I'm going to put down the enter and it will just give me a whole list of my customers. This is one functionality that we have with sales order application. Right, until this works, I would like to navigate to the dashboard and show you that the dashboard is rather more interactive on this version. All right, so we already I received a card, so I guess the chatbot rewarded, but let's have a look later on. So this is the dashboard, how it looks like. It gives me a whole list of products right here. It gives me information about the stock. Here are the prestigious customers and the order by status. So you just go and click here on hold and you'll get a list of all the orders which are on hold and so on. Right here on the top, then you go and just click all the view orders. So what we have done is we have integrated this sales order application under our MS Teams. So just like chat, Teams, Canada, which you use daily, all you need to do is go here and just click sales order. So what this is promoting is that your salesperson, he can chat from the same window, he can call other people from the same window, as well as use this application from the same window. So this is like you don't have to navigate in and out of different application. It is the under same single application of Microsoft Teams that salesperson needs to play around. So this is how the view orders, we have the quick summary, total orders, total order values, the customers, and so on. We have the statuses, and the person also can create an order right from here. So this is how the whole scenario looks like. So I said list customers, we have the list of customers right here. So this is how the demo of the demo of our sales order power application. We have many more features integrated with this, but right now I'm just going to give you a quick overview because I still have one more application to show you. If you would like to know more in detail, please feel free to reach out to us later. All right, so next one we have is the travel request approval. All right, so the travel request power apps, it will help the users to quickly send a travel request through the mobile using the power apps. In this, different level of managers can be involved. Level 1 managers, level 2 who can just quickly review, while some of them are higher level management need to come in picture when you have a bigger budget. So it may be involving some sort of executive managers as well. You can use the same application through mobile, and it helps you to minimize all the efforts and time for your travel request process. It will help you to all the executives as well to monitor the expected travel cost that's going to incur, and this application can be used by browser, and it is also available on mobile power apps application. All right, so this is just let's have a quick overview of the features. We have, you can send it through the mobile. You have a multi-level approval process. So this can be set as per your requirement, as per the organization, how it works, how many approval levels you would like to have. Automated notification for the requester and the approval via emails. Then we have, it helps the executives to monitor the expected travel cost. It's again a paperless process and very fast integration with the third-party solutions. Just to mention, we have before switching to the demo, I would like to say that we have it also integrated with Power BI at the moment. So what we do is that all the travel requests that occur, you can also see the completely fully functional report of the same under your Power BI. So this is very helpful in case where executive level people need to make some decisions. All right, now let's switch to our demo. Give me one moment. All right, so this is how the dashboard looks like. The screen is currently displaying the dashboard of all the travel request Power Apps application. My requests right here. Can you see the my request? These are the two different parts, my request and requests to approve. So these are the ones which I have requested for, and this shows me the status that where is it currently pending under level 1 approval, level 3 approval, etc. So can you see we have 3 color coordinations, like this is pending of requests. These are the approved requests and the ones which are rejected. So it is also color coordinated. Right here, requests to approve. So the ones which are in blue color means that I am the one who works as a manager and I need to approve. If right here I can see all the ones which are the ones which are requests to be approved. Okay, now for example, as a you can refresh it as well as let's say you want to submit a new travel request as a requester. So your name will be automatically configured. You have to select your level 1 and level 2 approvers. Level 3 approvers will only be notified or given information if the if it falls out of the budget, or it falls out of the set limit by the management. Then let's say you can select the regions, the site, the travel destination, the start, end date, purpose, the currency of the travel, expected cost, how much are you expecting. Now in case let's for this scenario only, I would like to mention that for example, if the expected for call, okay, give me one moment, let me put down GBP. I'll just show you one example. Okay, what happened here is that if the expected cost for exceeds more than the set limit, right, then what happens is that the level 3 approvers, okay, they are now being notified, and the user who and in case he's going to put down yes that this is a long haul travel, again this level 3 person will be notified. You need to put down all the why can't you use technology rather than travel. These are all the ones which you can change as per requirement. You can put down attachments. So this is how the requesters would look like. So these are few options that you have with travel request application. And the similar, the request form, it would look like this, where you will have the two options, whether you want to reject it or approve it. This is how the travel application looks like. So these were some of the demos that we had for today. Now these help to address many challenges when it comes to Power Apps or digitization. So all the budget constraints and the time and resource constraints are minimized. The business expectations have been improved. The paper processes have reduced. Complex processes have been simplified, streamlined. The IT and the business partnership has evolved. The legacy system maintenance, the shadow IT governance that we used to do with our traditional applications, all of these have come to a minimal point. We are with these applications, with Power Apps, you'll be able to leverage many existing technologies and it is completely secure and compliant towards all the Microsoft forms. So benefits of the low-code app development at large would be that it increases the development agility. It is saving your time. It saves the with let's say the one traditional application which would take time for let's say 15 days now takes let's say 5 days. So the speed has increased. Then we have efficient. So I would say when it called efficient, we have multiple integrations possible with these Power Apps. You can also integrate the AI Builder, AI component. So this is how the benefits of low-code app development looks like. So you can now focus on your innovation part while Power Apps will take care of the rest. All right. So thank you everyone for taking part in this session and taking out your valuable time. I hope you all enjoyed this amazing presentation and have great takeaways. In case you have any question, the floor is open. Please let me know. In case you have questions, you can unmute and ask, or you can just put down in your chat box. All right, let's just wait for 1 minute though. All right, so what we are going to do is that in case you have in future any question comes up to you guys, just let us know. Not an issue. You can just write down or reach out to us via email, and we will revert you as soon as possible. And so this concludes the webinar. All right, so we have one question now. What database it uses in the background? So as I mentioned, it can be any kind of databases that can be used. Your SQL server, the Azure SQL, Dataverse, any sort of. As I mentioned, it has 275 possibilities and connections of databases. So can we connect our own custom databases as well? Definitely yes, but that tends to only with the Canvas application. It might be hard with the model-driven. All right. So these I hope I have answered all the questions. Yes. Okay. So this concludes the webinar. We value our customer feedback. So do write us back about your experience with us and your thoughts on this session. We welcome any new ideas or any other topic you are interested in. Do just let us know. And I hope to see you all in the upcoming sessions. Thank you.